Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's February 14th, 2017, Valentine's Day. In this video, I want to give you a quick lesson on why Valentine's is celebrated February 14th, the 45th day of the year. Before we get to that lesson, I want to talk about this headline regarding the death of Tom Cruise's mother. This emerged yesterday, February 13th, the first day of Lupercalia, the ancient Roman festival that lasts for 3 days. Valentine's on the second day of it. The story is that Tom Cruise's mother died in her sleep last week. The news was broke yesterday, February 13th. Notice the article points out that Tom Cruise is currently 54 years old, and for his mother's passing, they had a Scientology service. Of course, Tom Cruise and many other Hollywood celebrities part of the Church of Scientology. With regards to Tom Cruise being 54 at the time of his mother's passing, it's interesting that Scientology, in the language of gematria, sums to 54, just like Tom Cruise's mother's maiden name, Mary Lee South. Tom Cruise's mother born Mary Lee South before finding Tom Cruise's father. One of the readers of my blog, he did a lengthy post on this, a lot of good information. I'm going to link this down below in the description if you want to read all of this. Just in case you didn't know, Tom Cruise was born Thomas Mopather. The last name Mopather is really interesting, having gematria 42 and 96, just like the word Freemason. Of course, Hollywood is run by Freemasons and Zionist Jews. This practice of gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words, a Jewish Masonic practice. Notice his Hollywood name, Tom Cruise, also has that gematria of 42. So there's a lot more to this. I just want you to understand that this news came on the first day of Lupercalia. Lupercalia is related to Valentine's Day. And keep this number 54 in mind. We're going to talk about it again in the Valentine's Day lesson, why Valentine's is on the 45th day of the year. So, Valentine's, every year, February 14th, the 45th day of the year. You know, the seeds are planted in us from a young age in this culture with Valentine's Day and relationships and gift giving and eventually marrying and having children. You know, I can still think back to when I was in first grade. The first 2 years of my life, I went to a Catholic school. You know, Valentine's connected to the Catholic Church. I was never Catholic. We were Lutheran. Ironically, my Lutheran mother had me go to a Catholic school. But the reason I went to the Catholic school is because it was free. They had all day care, and it was close to where we lived in Portland, Oregon. But I can still remember first grade, kindergarten. You know, I had a crush. Her name was Christina. I actually got in big trouble in first grade for kissing Christina on the playground at recess. Had to spend all day in the corner until my dad came to get me. You know, shaming. Don't shame children. It can hurt them from a young age. Never forget that day. But anyway, I just remember back then we would have our Valentine's celebration and we had to give a card to everybody or a gift to everybody. But I remember for Christina, I made the message a little bit longer, you know? So anyway, the word marriage in gematria sums to 45. And that's the cultural expectation, right? You grow up, you meet someone, you fall in love, you get married, you have children, you raise your children to do the same thing, the ongoing cycle. So here's this celebration, Valentine's Day, about love, couples, on the 45th day of the year. Be interesting to see the stats, you know, the amount of money spent, married couples versus dating couples on Valentine's. I think the dating couples probably outspend. Anyhow, 45 is the reflection of the number 54, what we just talked about with Tom Cruise. When you write out 54 and when you write out 45, they both sum to 54. Isn't that interesting? And the word love also has gematria of 54. When you think about Valentine's, the Catholic Church, cultural expectations, most of it comes back to religion. And, you know, here in the United States, the land of Valentine's cards and materialism and all that, the predominant religion is Christianity and the Holy Bible. Notice Holy Bible, Gematria 45. Again, Valentine's named after a saint from the Catholic Church. Also interesting, in regards to this marriage connection, the word Valentine has gematria of 39, like wedding. You know, how many people propose on Valentine's? They say it's the date with the most proposals. So the date that leads to the most weddings, the most marriages. Valentine has the same gematria as wedding, 39, and the Holy Bible, it begins with the 39 books in the Old Testament, the book of laws, where the concept of marriage is explained. When you write out 39 as a word, it also sums to 142. Think about today's date as it's written in most parts of the world, February 14th, 14/2. 14/2, a lot like 142, Valentine's Day. And I was doing a little more research to see if I could unearth something I wasn't aware of before. I've always known that Lupercalia goes from February 13th to February 15th. Valentine's part of the Lupercalia ancient Roman festival. Lupercalia begins on the 44th day. When you write out when you write out Lupercalia, it sums to 44, like the day it begins on. What I just noticed this morning, and thanks again, Derek, for creating the Gematrinator calculator, this reverse ordinal gematria, which, in case you're new here, what this is ordinal is where A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, up to Z is 26. Reverse ordinal is doing just the opposite. A becomes the 26. There's 26 letters in the alphabet. B's 25, C's 24, all the way to Z is 1. In reverse ordinal, marriage is 144. And what stood out to me right away, or what clicked in my mind, is I said, oh yeah, this is that pattern I've been talking about for years with the weddings of Jay-Z and Beyonce and Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. Jay-Z and Beyonce were married on April 4th. And for those who don't know their hip-hop rapper history, Kanye West supposedly became famous through Jay-Z. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West were married on the 144th day of the year. So, again, Valentine's comes during the time of Lupercalia, which has the 44 connection. When you write out 44, it sums to 144, just like when you write out April 4th, the date that's 4/4. And marriage in reverse ordinal is 144. And what 144 represents is time. 144 represents time. Marriage, it's supposed to be a commitment, till death do us part, for the remainder of time you have on earth. Not many people who get married obviously believe that, but I mean, that's what it's supposed to be. That's what almost everyone's wedding vows are. It just goes to show the reason the majority of people get married is just because they're following cultural expectations, not because they really believe in the institution of marriage. That's made very clear by looking at the statistics. The majority of people who get married now get divorced. It's more than half. So, I mean, just undeniable. As for today's Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2017, today's date numerology is 53, 26, 17, and 33. What stands out about this year is that the numerology is 53 and 26. The word Cupid, the small way equals 26, the big way 53. Think about Cupid, Valentine's Day. Last year they had a story about people being hit with blow darts on the Golden Gate Bridge. You might remember that story from last Valentine's Day. Bridge has gematria of 45, just like Valentine's being on the 45th day of the year. Golden Gate also has gematria of 239. Last year the country was 239 years old. I'll be interested to see what kind of headlines emerge paying tribute to Valentine's Day this year. Today's date also has a 33 numerology. The word diamond equals 33. Valentine's Day, diamond sales. I turned on CNN this morning. You know, it's no secret how advertising works. Within having the TV on for 10 minutes, I must have saw 4 ads for diamonds. So, fitting date numerology for Valentine's. Keep this video short and sweet. One last point about the death of Tom Cruise's mother at 80. When you write out 80 as a word, it sums to 38 and 74. Numbers connected to death and killing, you see? Suspicious death reported on Lupercalia, the 44th day of the year. The word kill also has gematria 44. So just want to share the knowledge, truth seeker. Understand that what I'm showing about the Scientology connection with Tom Cruise and his mother's name and her death, this isn't something that's unique to Scientology. Scientology really is no different than any other religion. It's not different than Christianity. It's not different than Islam. It's not different than any other religion, like I just said. Almost all ministers, priests, rabbis, leaders of churches, they have something in common in this world, and that is that they are Freemasons. It is hard to find the leader of a church who is not a Freemason. It's not to say that all of them are bad for being in Freemasonry, but remember, Freemasonry is a secret society. They pride themselves on being the keepers of knowledge, such as gematria. And within all churches, there's corruption and murder by the numbers and so much more, as I've exposed many times over on this channel. You never seen my video on the 33-day Pope who died the day after the Jesuit order's birthday on a date with 44 numerology plus so much more? Check that out. Very important post. There's a reason the Church of Scientology was established in Phoenix, Arizona on the 33rd parallel. Very important number in all mainstream religions. It is Freemasonry that is the backbone of religion in this world. It is Freemasonry that truly is the backbone of this world. Freemasonry is the reason Valentine's Day is celebrated on the 45th day of the year. This is a world we're living in that so many of us know is under the ownership of the New World Order, or as people call it, the Illuminati. What you need to know, the New World Order, the Illuminati, it is the worldwide Freemasonic network, crossing all religions, all governments. Freemasonry, thousands of years old, across the world, a major alliance. It is the alliance that controls the masses. It is the alliance that steers the masses. It is the alliance that has built this world around us the way we know it. Valentine's Day and all. It's all about control and steering people. So that's it for now, Truth Seeker. Until next time.